This is Oshkosh Today, your connection to events and organizations in the Oshkosh area. Oshkosh Today is supported in part by the Friends of OCM, Aurora Health Care, 855 North West Haven Drive. Set design provided by House of Flowers, 1920 Algoma Boulevard.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Oshkosh Today. If you're looking for something fun to do this month, if you're looking for more information on a nearby nonprofit, or if you're just curious to see what Oshkosh has to offer, you have come to the right place. We've got a really exciting show set up for today, so let's see what we have on deck. We'll kick off the episode with our fifth finalist for the Friends of OCM Student Athlete of the Year Scholarship, a baseball and soccer athlete from Lourdes Academy. After that, if you love to laugh, this event is for you. The Backlot Comedy House will be presenting 25 hours of comedy for suicide awareness and prevention. And if you've ever driven over the Wisconsin Bridge lately, you might have noticed that the new addition near Carl Steiger Park will talk about the brand new UW Oshkosh Alumni Welcome Center and everything it has to offer. Oshkosh Playing Around is here to tell us about their latest production, The Trouble with Cats, coming up next month. And then we'll talk to the Oshkosh Area Community Pantry about their mission and ways that you can help. As always, we'll round out the program with a segment of Focus on Health with our friend Ted Stefaniak. So let's get to our first guest. We have Alex Sobojinski from Lourdes Academy and his coach, Reed Tyriver. Welcome to Oshkosh Today.
Thank you for having me here.
So, Alec, I tell this to every student athlete we have, and that's really just my amazement at how much you're able to do outside of your sports. I mean, you're in school, you have sports, you're involved in so many different activities, not only sports, but music, student council. I know you're involved in DARE, just tons of clubs. So let's start with the sports. How long have you been playing soccer and baseball?
So baseball I've been playing all my life. I mean, I was raised with baseball basically. Soccer, that was a more recent adventure. I decided to take up soccer last year, and that was just kind of a spur of the moment deal, and I really enjoyed my time playing soccer.
Last
so it was
year.
good. Yeah,
Wow.
last year, yep.
And so what's your experience been like playing these sports in high school? I mean, soccer, like you said, has been pretty recent, but baseball as well.
Yeah, I mean, baseball, my experience from baseball, it's been positive overall. You know, we've had a good run my sophomore year. That was very fun at state. Mm-hmm. Soccer was, that was our first year. It was really tough, just getting into it, getting the hang of it. But, I think the first year we played, we played a very strict style of soccer. Mm-hmm. And I think the second year playing, we got to open up more, and I think we kind of grew as a team in that sense.
And they're both such different sports. That must have been something.
Yeah, it was a transition,
yeah,
definitely.
And Reed, you've been coaching Alec for how many years now?
This is my fifth year at Lourdes coaching baseball, so I've had Alec for all 4 years of his high school career. So.
Excellent. And what's it been like working with Reed and seeing him, Alec, and seeing him develop over the years?
It was a lot of fun. His freshman year was my second year, and he came in and. Like most freshmen, a little bit smaller than he is now.
Of course.
So as it's went on, he hit the weight room a little bit and has continued to grow. But I knew right from the start, we had some talented kids that were a year older than him, or a couple years older than him. But I knew from the start he was going to be a kid that was going to do some special things for us. And he saw a little bit of playing time his freshman year, but really from his sophomore year on, he's been our starting second baseman. He's hit pretty much anywhere I've asked him to. I mean, last year he hit leadoff sometimes, he hit second, he hit fourth. Freshman, sophomore year, he was a little bit farther down the lineup. But he's done everything I've asked him to do. And as a coach, when you have a kid, when you ask, where do you play, they say, wherever you want me to. That's exactly what you're looking for from a player. So I've enjoyed coaching him, and it's weird to see him going from a little freshman to where he is right now and all the things that he's accomplished. So very honored that he had me here today as well.
Right, and I mean, not only working with him in baseball, but also as a person. I mean, you must have seen him, grow and develop as well.
Yeah, he's really as he's gotten older, he's opened up a little bit more, and that kind of is what typically happens at, just being a coach for a while now. Those kids tend to open up as they get older and get a little more comfortable with themselves. But I mean, he, from soccer, I've seen him play, been to quite a few of his soccer games. He's in forensics, he's in DARE, he's an unbelievable piano player, so musically he's very talented too. So I think the awesome thing over at Lures Academy that we have is we have all these wonderful kids that somehow, some way, they're involved in 4, 5, 6, 7 different things. And with Alec, there's so many things he's really talented with. We were just talking, he qualified for the state forensics, which I believe he said is in April, which is it's amazing what he does with his time. So.
Definitely, which is a great segue. Tell us, I mean, outside of sports, you've got so many things going on. What are you busy with right now?
Right now, I'm busy with the musical at Lourdes. I'm in stage crew there, and we're moving into the Grand today, actually. So I get to miss that, so that's perfect. But,
Perfect timing.
Yeah, so they perform next week. It's my second year doing that, and it's been a very fun time.
And forensics, apparently you got some big things going on there, huh?
Yeah, that's a whole different ball game. This is my first year doing forensics. I said it was kind of what the heck, why not do forensics? My friends are doing it. I'm doing it with 2 of my close friends, and I guess it was fun because my first forensics meet was the regional one, so it's right into the go of the thing. So it was a good time.
Excellent. And I know we don't have a whole hour to talk about all of your awesome activities that you have, but I did want to make sure that we were able to talk about your essay a little bit for your application. And you talked a lot about your sister and all the experiences that you've had with her. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, my sister Julia, she's been my biggest support, from the get-go. She is, I wouldn't be the person I am today without my sister Julia. She was just kind of the, I guess, compassion, patience. She's been she's taught me so many things that I'm so grateful for.
And I know you described a time when you were younger, just her being 2 years old and almost falling down the stairs and you kind of saving her a little bit. Is that kind of the relationship that you guys have had? You kind of look out for her, she looks out for you?
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's definitely mutual. As much as I look out for her, she's probably looking out for me twice as much. She's been behind me from day one. That's all you can ask for.
And I know you said that compassion and the compassion and patience that you've learned through your sister has really kind of transferred to your sports life as well. Reed, would you say that could you vouch for that a little bit?
Yeah, I'm just looking at Alec's personality traits and how he treats his teammates and things like that. Him talking about his relationship with his sister and being there for each other. I think it's a great characteristic that somebody should have when they play sports. You need to be there for your teammates, and especially with him being a senior this year, that is something I have very high expectations for him, not only as far as how he plays, but what kind of example he sets for our younger kids. He's got a younger brother as well who's going to be playing on our middle school baseball team. So the Sobojinskis will
right behind me.
Will be coming up, and Alec has already set a great example for him. But just how he handles himself, how he plays the game, how he treats people is something I can definitely see how that relationship with his sister plays into how he treats people in general. So
definitely. And after high school, you plan on sticking with baseball?
Baseball. I guess for next year, baseball's not going to be my primary goal for college. I'm definitely open to the opportunity of playing baseball, but I think my first goal my first priority for college would be academics.
And looking to going into biomedical?
Yes, that's the plan.
Excellent, very exciting. Well, we only got a few seconds left, so I'm going to go ahead and present you with our Certificate of Achievement on being one of our 6 Student Athlete of the Year Scholarship finalists. So here you go, congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
And really good luck to everything. It sounds like you've got a ton of great things going, and we can only expect great things from you in the coming years. So thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
And thank you, Reed, as well.
Thank you very much for having me.
So coming up next, our next guest is ready to make you laugh for 25 hours. We'll be right back on Oshkosh Today.
Take it slow, take it slow, take it slow. When we see a roundabout, take it slow. Let me pick the correct lane and take it slow. When we see a car approach, we yield to the left. When we're in that roundabout, we don't pass anybody yet. Take it slow, take it slow, take it slow.
Visit WisconsinRoundabouts.com for more info from the Wisconsin Department of Transportation.
Do you know or have a family member with a disability? Cerebral Palsy of Mideast, Wisconsin is here to help. We offer programs and services that make a positive difference for individuals that are affected by a variety of disabilities. Volunteers are always welcome, and your financial gifts are truly appreciated and tax deductible. For more details, log on to www.cpmideastwis.com or call 1-800-261-1895. Thanks for supporting Cerebral Palsy of Mideast, Wisconsin.
Welcome back to Oshkosh Today, and now we have two hilarious guests in from the Backlot Comedy House. We have Kyla Morris and Mike Heyer. Thanks for joining us today, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Now, you're here to tell us about a really cool event, but first, I know the Backlot Comedy House is kind of a new addition to downtown Oshkosh. So, do you want to maybe tell us a little bit about the Comedy House itself?
Sure. We opened last July, and we do improv and sketch comedy every single weekend. New to Oshkosh for the most part. We went to school at UWO, though, of course, and moved back from Los Angeles and decided that Oshkosh could use a little bit more comedy around the corner. So, yeah.
Definitely. And from what I know, I don't think there was ever really anything quite like it in Oshkosh either.
Not that we know of. We do know a couple of the other theater organizations in town who do improv comedy, but we're doing it on a weekend basis. So every Friday and Saturday you can come and see a show and have a part in it.
Excellent. And what are the shows like? Are they more, I know I've been to one and it was really improv based. Is that how all the shows are?
Most of the shows are improv based. You can tell them a little bit more about that.
We do some stuff with sketches. There's a couple of really cool dedicated writers that we have that will come up with material and just kind of work with stuff like that. But improv is really where our focus lies, just because, one, it's easier for us to rehearse it, and then two, it changes. So we can give the audience the best possible show because it's going to be fresh and new.
Definitely. And the one show that I went to, what I really liked about it is the audience is really involved. It's not a sit back and, kind of stay out of it type of show. I almost kind of compared it to Whose Line Is It Anyway a little bit. And that made it so much fun just to have the different audience members going up and shouting out ideas and that kind of thing. So it's a really cool place to go. And at this event, the 25 hours of comedy, just the title is intriguing. So do you want to tell us what exactly can we look forward to here?
Yeah, we are doing 25 hours of comedy straight, so nonstop, starting on March 28th at 9 p.m. and going till March 29th at 10 p.m. And it's going to be, we're going to start the show off with our regular improv show, so that's the Veloci Laughter show. And then we're going to go in and doing stand-up showcases and a variety of different shows during that 25-hour period, and all the proceeds are going to go to benefit Community for Hope here in Oshkosh, so suicide awareness and prevention.
Excellent. And 25 hours, that's a long time. How are you going to do that? Is it going to be how many comedians do you have to work this?
We have 11 in-house comedians, but we're also bringing in some folks from Comedy City and De Pere. We're working with them a little bit. We're working with a few stand-up folks from Milwaukee. So it'll be, but mostly our cast in-house are going to be taking on the 25 hours.
Yeah, I'm going to be there for the whole 25.
The whole 25. Well, hopefully you'll have coffee available.
Yes, coffee, Red Bull, whatever we got. Yes. We're just going to take it all in.
So is this kind of a come and go as you please type of thing? Does it cost anything? Do you need a ticket?
Our 9 o'clock shows are going to be regular price, so those are $10 a ticket.
Okay.
But you can come and go as you please throughout the 25 hours. All of the other shows are going to be completely free. We just ask that you throw in a donation for the cause.
Excellent. Can you tell us a little bit more about the Community for Hope? Is it a charity kind of thing?
Yep, it's a nonprofit here in Oshkosh.
Okay.
They focus on suicide awareness and prevention. They have events going on all the time to raise funds. So there's the 5K coming up. And I had a board meeting with them Last week I went to my first board meeting with them, and just a great group of people who are all looking to look out for the younger generations, the older generations, everybody that's struggling with depression and mental illness and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. And is there any reason that you chose this specific organization to benefit?
Yes, I lost my cousin a few years ago, like 6 years ago, as well as a couple other family members and friends. And this is the first time that I've ever had that outlet where I can head something up and be like, look, I want to make a difference. And so that's why we're starting it.
Excellent. Do you have any kind of specific goals for the show, for not only the comedians, but also for the whole point of it, really?
Yeah, each comedian actually has set a goal for themselves. So if you go on our website, they're each listed for, my personal goal is $300. I think Mike's is $250, and you can donate to each comedian or just an overall donation to the cause.
Excellent.
Yeah.
My goal is to just stay awake.
Yeah.
That's usually
that should be the number one goal, I
I'm
guess.
starting small and then working my way up.
Although it'd be kind of funny if someone did fall asleep on stage. I think I'd donate for that.
That's one of the things we have going on is one of our guys, Noah, he has said that when he falls asleep, because it's going to happen, he is like the guy that falls asleep hard and snores really loud. And you are able to take a picture with him or do whatever with him as you please for $1 to go towards the cause. So there's like these little like side goals too, that sort of thing.
Should definitely make the 25 hours interesting.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Spicing it up.
Yes. And so you said that it's kind of come and go. The shows are $10 a piece. Where can you go to get tickets?
You can reserve tickets online. We're also offering at the backlotcomedyhouse.com, and we're also offering, you can donate $30 and buy a $30 ticket, and that guarantees you into every single show. So we'll put you on the reservation list, and you can show up, and you're guaranteed a spot for that show.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Is there anything else going on that we can look forward to? I know usually I like to ask about food or if there's anything like that happening.
Yes, we have Hot Dog Charlie. He's going to be coming and selling hot dogs during the event, as well as my cousin, who she also lost the same person. She's going to be selling bakery goods because she owns a bakery in Belgium, Wisconsin. So
very fun. So you can get your protein in, your sugar in, and keep you awake those 25
And their
hours.
Proceeds are going towards Community for Hope as well.
Excellent. And so if you do want to donate, do you donate only at the event, or can you donate if you can't make it to the 25 hours?
You can donate online. Yep, we have it online on our website. There's a link that says 25 hours of comedy. You just click that button and it'll send you right to where you can donate.
Excellent. We got a couple minutes left, so do you want to tell us a little bit about the comedians? I mean, are they students, or do they just come from wherever? Or?
It's a really wide range. We've got a lot of recent UWO alumni from the theater department. We also have a guy who used to be a landscaper. Now he sells truck parts. It's really kind of anybody. We don't really mind experience. We're totally willing to work with you. So when we hold auditions, we really tell people that if you don't have any experience, it really doesn't matter. We rehearse every week, and that really allows us to kind of develop our own style. So they're really a great group of guys. And girls. There's 2 girls. I feel like they're going to get mad at me if I just say guys. But yeah, overall, they're a fantastic group.
Excellent. Do you guys ever participate in the shows?
Mike does.
I do. I'm on stage. This is actually my first stage experience. I've never done anything like this before. And then Kyla usually stays mostly in the background. So I'm kind of the guy that's on stage, and then she does all the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, I get to do the boring stuff. They're going to have all the fun up front.
Definitely. Well, I mean, you couldn't ask for a more fun a place to work and everything. So we've got about 30 seconds left if you want to just recap the event once more, the dates and times, and then where we can find more information.
Sure. We're 25 hours of comedy to benefit Community for Hope, and it's Friday, March 28th at 9 p.m. to Saturday, March 29th at 10 p.m. It's going nonstop, and you can log on to our website at thebacklotcomedyhouse.com.
Yes, and there's no excuse. You have a whole 25 hours to make it.
If you're bored at like 4 o'clock in the morning, we're going to be there.
Yeah.
So, hey.
Definitely. Well, thank you both so much for coming in and telling us about this really exciting event.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us.
Coming up next, we'll hear all about the brand new UW Oshkosh Alumni Welcome Center and get a peek at what it looks like inside and out. We'll be right back on Oshkosh Today.
Hi, I'm Mayor Burktower, and I'm asking for your help. The city has several boards and commissions that play important roles in just about every aspect of local government. Whether it's the Parks Board or the Landmarks Commission, these and other boards act as a forum for citizens to address their concerns and questions about Oshkosh city government. The boards also provide members the opportunity to make positive suggestions to the council or city staff to move the city forward. So here's where we need your help. For our city to work effectively, we need active citizen participation. Many of our boards and commissions currently need members. We're asking for just a few hours of your time each month to serve on one of our boards or commissions and help to ensure a strong democratic process. So please consider serving on a city board or commission. For an application, visit the city website, stop by the city manager's office in City Hall, or call 236-5000. Thank you for your interest, and we look forward to your possible involvement.
Welcome back to Oshkosh Today. Oshkosh is always evolving. There's always new things sprouting up left and right. And our next guests are here to tell us about one of the latest additions to Oshkosh, the Alumni Welcome Center at UW Oshkosh. So now we have Laurel Rommelfanger and Christine Gantner with us. Thanks for joining us, ladies. Hi.
Thank you.
So this has kind of been a big project in the works going on over the past, I don't even know, year or two. And what's the purpose of this new building?
The building will serve as the university's brand new front door to the community. So it will be a place where people from Oshkosh, people from the greater community or the state can come into the front door of campus. They will be greeted by our campus concierge staff who can help them be connected to any campus resource that they're looking for. So if they want to buy a ticket to a football game, if they want to find out more about going to school there, if they want to be connected with human resources, any of those kinds of things, the staff there will help them. We have shuttle service that can take them into the heart of campus if they want to find more resources and learn more, and just basically a very easy access for people to come and get access to the university.
Yes, and when you say front door to the university, that couldn't be more true. Coming over that bridge and you see this big, beautiful building with the big windows, it's just a beautiful building, really. And it's not open yet, is it?
No, we open on April 1st, so 12 days.
April 1st. Can you tell us a little bit more about, is there anything specific going on when the building opens, or is any big events going on that you have planned for the building?
Oh yes, April 1st, that first week, we have a number of events already scheduled for the building. On Saturday, we have a wedding of 2 UW Oshkosh alumni to kick off our first week, so that's pretty exciting. And then we have a number of events that follow throughout the year.
Wonderful. You couldn't ask for a better first event, right? So what are some of the main features of the new building? I know my main focus when I see it is that big window in the beginning.
The Great Hall area. Yes, it's absolutely gorgeous. So when you first walk into the building, we have kind of a pre-function or a gathering space that's referred to as the Great Hall. It has a 2-story stone fireplace in it, gas fireplace. It's beautiful. And then you're able to look out. And so everywhere you look, you'll see the river, the park area. It's beautiful. And then just outside, we've built a patio with a gas fire pit on it.
Oh, wow.
And then to the right, as you walk through, we have an enormous ballroom, which will seat about 500 people. That's where we'll be hosting our first wedding. And some additional windows, so there's a lot of ambient light that comes into the building, and very bright, and some vaulted ceilings, so it feels spacious and contemporary and beautiful. On the second level of the building, we have additional conference and event spaces, breakout rooms. There's about 4 of them. We have a pretty high-tech executive conference room, and then we have a smaller, more intimate boardroom.
Very cool. So wide range of things that you can have at this building.
Yes.
And, the alumni, or the university, a few offices will be moving over to that building as well. Chris, I don't know if you want to maybe tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, absolutely. Our Office of Alumni Relations will be there, as will our UW Oshkosh Foundation. and our Business Success Center, which brings the resources of the campus, the expertise of our faculty, staff, and students out to businesses and organizations. So the 3 offices will have a permanent residence there, and then it's expected there will also be some satellite offices. Some of the admission tours will start from there, so at a satellite office for admissions, and some economic development offices as well.
Excellent. So kind of in the same way that you were talking about earlier, that they're available there for people to come no matter what they're looking for, really.
Absolutely.
So in what other ways are alumni going to be better served by having these offices located here?
Well, we're really excited to have the Office of Alumni Relations there, and our role in Alumni Relations is to re-engage and connect our more than 83,000 UW-Oshkosh alumni worldwide back to the campus, and we do that in a variety of ways. By hosting reunions and things that bring them back to campus. We offer them mentoring opportunities to interface with our current students and give back through their expertise and share that expertise with our students. So having this beautiful space, a great place for our alums to call home, and to have them come back to this grand space is really exciting. So,
which really kind of probably instirs a sense of pride a little bit, you know, when this is our alumni center and it's just beautiful.
Absolutely. And many of them I know come back and they bring the next generation, their children, their grandchildren, their nieces, nephews, acquaintances that they want to introduce to UW-Oshkosh, and so that's another really exciting component.
Definitely. And that's not the only reason or the only use that you're looking for out of this building, really. Who else is available? Who else can use the building, and for what kind of purposes?
Yeah, that building is unique to campus because it is available for anyone to use. So people, our alums, of course, are invited, and our campus will be using it as well. We have departments and student groups who have a lot of events, and they're looking for a space to host those. But in addition, community groups, we have a number of fundraisers. We have a number of external organizations who have called us and said, do you have a space for our group to come and meet and gather? And we say, absolutely.
And if you're looking to possibly reserve any spaces, how can you go about doing that?
Oh, great question. We have, our number is 424-3300, so people can call and make a reservation there. Our acronym is AWCC, so you can email awcc@uwash.edu.
Excellent. AWCC is a lot easier to say than
Alumni Welcome and Conference Center?
Yes, yes. And I know you said you have a wedding coming up. What are some of the other first events that you have planned?
Okay, so we have a variety of events. We also have a grand opening on May the 16th. So that will be where we do our formal ribbon cutting and an open house. So if anyone is interested in coming in for a tour, we'll be offering tours through the building that day, as well as giving more information about the building and the services that are available.
Well, it sounds really like the opportunities are endless for this. And what are some of the things you guys are looking forward the most about this building?
I'm looking forward to bringing so many of our alums back to campus. We have alumni chapters throughout the United States, and when I travel and meet alums, many times they say, I haven't been back to campus in years, and it's really exciting to share with them not only our new Alumni Welcome and Conference Center, but we've had a lot of significant changes on the campus, really positive things both in terms of our physical structure and our academics, and so it's really going to be exciting to welcome these alums back and show them their new home on the UWO campus.
Definitely. What about you?
I was just having this conversation with Chris before we got here about how exciting it is when alumni come in and we give them a tour of this space and they tell us their UW-Oshkosh story, and they tell us about their major and when they graduate and the sense of pride that comes with that, and how excited they are to be back on campus, or how excited they are to bring their parents back on campus. So that's pretty exciting. Also having our students in the building, our faculty and staff, being able for them to be able to bring in the community to events and be able to host these kinds of things that is easily accessible. It's been really exciting.
Excellent. You couldn't ask for a better time to open either. I mean, hopefully once all the snow melts, but I mean, spring, perfect. So we're really looking forward to being able to get out there and take a look at it.
Thank you. Please come by.
Yeah, thanks so much. Next up, we have Oshkosh Playing Around in the studio, and they are excited to tell us about their latest production, Trouble with Cats. We'll be right back on Oshkosh Today.
Wisconsin is losing our World War II veterans. If you were a World War II veteran, or you know one who hasn't gone on an honor flight to D.C., please help us. The Wisconsin Broadcasters Association is partnering with all Wisconsin Honor Flight hubs to make sure every eligible vet remaining who served their country so selflessly gets the chance to go. It's time for them to see their memorial. It's time for their flight. To learn more or to make a donation, go to wisconsinhonorflight.org.
Hi Oshkosh, I'm City Manager Mark Roloff. In the last few years, we've seen Oshkosh grow in so many ways, and in 2014, I know we can continue to prosper. Join me Monday, March 31st at the Oshkosh Convention Center for the annual State of the City Address and City Exhibit Expo. Doors open at 6 p.m., with the State of the City being delivered at 6:30. Following the presentation, we'll honor some standout community members and then close out the night with the expo, where you can go one-on-one with city staff. Monday, March 31st, Convention Center. Be there and be involved in your community.
Welcome back to Oshkosh Today. And now if you're in a theater kind of mood, we've got just the thing for you. And if you're a fan of cats, even better. We've got Oshkosh Playing Around here to tell us about their latest production, Trouble with Cats. We have Caroline Thompson and Deb Ransbottom. Thanks for coming in today, ladies.
Yes, thanks for having us.
So tell us about this latest production, The Trouble with Cats. What can we expect?
Oh my gosh, it is so hilarious. It is about a couple who rent out their house deliberately to two couples. One couple is of the older generation and the other couple is a more young, spiritual type, laid-back couple. And they both decide that neither one of them want to budge and they're going to sit that house for a month. You throw in some snarky, intrusive neighbors and a couple of women carpenters who are remodeling the master suite. Conveniently. And we do have an elusive creature in there that might not necessarily be a cat, but lots of adventures, a lot of hysterical timing. It's going to be real fun.
Well, it sounds like there's a lot going on, and that's the kind of show that I typically like. I mean, all the characters, different things going on the whole time. When exactly is the show and what time?
Well, the show is Friday and Saturday, April 25th and 26th at 7:30 p.m. The doors will open at 6:30 p.m. It's at the Oshkosh Masonic Center. We also have a matinee this time, also at the Oshkosh Masonic Center at 2 o'clock on that Sunday the 27th. Doors will open at 1 o'clock.
Excellent. Now, can you tell us a little bit about Oshkosh Playing Around in general? What are you all about?
Well, we believe that theater is for everyone. So we hold open auditions for everyone of all ages. Well, not all ages. It depends on the show. I should rephrase. But like we have, in this show, we actually have a cast member who has never done theater before in their life. And so this is their first show, and I guess they're doing a great job.
She's doing an awesome job. She came into our auditions and she's like, well, I've never done this before, and I need to prepare a monologue. Just want to tell me what it is? So I told her what it is. She came back in an hour. She told us a story. She was funny. And I asked her, I said, so what made you do this? She goes, I so badly want to do it. I've seen your last couple shows. The cast looks like they're having so much fun up there that I want to be a part of that. And right now she is doing awesome. And she's like, I really wish I had the nerve to do this 10 years ago. So yeah, she's doing wonderful.
Very cool. That's so interesting that it's open to everyone. And so for people like that have always wanted to do something like that but never have that opportunity.
Yep.
And what kind of productions do you have going on this year?
Well, this year we're actually doing our first musical. It's called Love at the Cafe. It's a 50s comedy musical. It's a lot of fun. I'll actually be directing that one. And audition dates and show dates will be posted on our website and Facebook page in the future. We're also doing a Christmas show, which is partnered with our big fundraiser. So that we're still working on the Christmas show. I think we haven't quite figured that one out. But we do have it narrowed down, Yep. But
so how do you pick these different shows? I mean, for example, a musical that you've never done before. What makes you choose these different pieces?
I think first we have to get something in our mind, and that is how I picked this show, was just gathered up a lot of information and read different synopsises and tried to figure out what could we actually present, what can we do, this one sounds fun, no, I don't think this one is all right. And we just kind of went from there. And as a group, we've tossed ideas out to each other and had them read the scripts and that type of thing, and they just zeroed in on one or the other.
The director has to be passionate about the show too. So we can pick a show as a board, but then if the director isn't like, I'm not really feeling it, we have to find something different. So.
And who's directing this show, The Trouble with Cats?
Oh, I am. I'm directing this one. This one has been really funny. When I first read the synopsis for this, the immediate thought was EAA and all the people who rent out their house. And I'm like, I bet you they could come up with so many adventures. So that one really, and it was this one was a challenge for me because it did have a multiple, it's an upstairs and a downstairs set. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? But we had some really awesome helpers, Bob Wilhelm and Eric Gulbertson. I told them my idea. They're like, oh, piece of cake. I'm like, oh, why worry? So yeah, it's great. It's coming together, and it's going to be great. So,
and I think those behind the scenes people are just as important as the actors in the production.
Absolutely.
Where do you find people? I mean, the couple of volunteers that you just listed there, how can people get involved?
A lot of people will come to our Facebook page and our website. Word of mouth really has we have gotten so many volunteers that way that don't necessarily want to be on stage, but what can I help with? Like the stage crew and the lighting, the makeup, the hair. Every person that comes forward and volunteers, we couldn't do it without them. And we are always so appreciative of having them. And of course our audience too.
Yep.
So, yes.
And we're always looking for new faces to help volunteer.
Always.
So
We never turn down a volunteer. Yeah.
And we have a couple minutes left. I want to make sure that we have some time to talk about the On the Spot Improv Group.
Yeah,
tell us about that.
On the spot. It's got about 6 quirky actors, and we have our show on April 19th. There's actually a number of shows coming up. That's also listed on our website and Facebook page. But it's just basically actors that get together that do a bunch of improv games, sketch comedies, and you never know what's going to happen. And they're always free. And they're at the Oshkosh Masonic Center, always free at 8 o'clock p.m. So.
Excellent. And you can find more information on that on your website. I actually think there's a video on either your Facebook or your website about the On the Spot that I watched, and it was hilarious.
Yeah, there is a video. Yeah.
So funny.
Yep.
So definitely something to check out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So how can, if someone wants to get involved, if they just go to the website, there's information on there as well?
There's information, or they can email us at oshkoshplayandround@gmail.com, which is also on our website and Facebook page too. So.
And you probably already said this, but what exactly is the website?
It's oshkoshplayandround.org.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. And we've got actually a few seconds left. You also have a summer camp coming up?
We do, and more information will be, our website. Just check it out. Yeah,
definitely.
I thought we would have the dates all figured out, but we don't. So dates and times and prices will be listed soon.
Wonderful. Also open to everyone.
Well, nope, there is an age limit.
Okay.
It will be ages 8 to 12.
Perfect.
But it's going to be in August, that I do know.
Excellent. Yeah. Well, if you just want to recap the Trouble with Cats production, dates, times, prices.
Excellent. Okay, it is April 25th and 26th at 7:30 p.m. at the Oshkosh Masonic Center. April 27th, 2 o'clock p.m. also at the Oshkosh Masonic Center. Tickets are $12. They are available at the Queen Bee, Bella Academy of Cosmetology, brownpapertickets.com, and any cast member.
Excellent. Well, thank you both so much for coming in today, and good luck with the production.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Coming up next, we have the Oshkosh Community Area Pantry here to tell us about their mission and how you can help. We'll be right back on Oshkosh Today.
Hi Oshkosh, I'm City Manager Mark Roloff. In the last few years, we've seen Oshkosh grow in so many ways, and in 2014, I know we can continue to prosper. Join me Monday, March 31st at the Oshkosh Convention Center for the annual State of the City address and City Exhibit Expo. Doors open at 6 p.m., with the State of the City being delivered at 6:30. Following the presentation, we'll honor some standout community members and then close out the night with the expo, where you can go one-on-one with city staff. Monday, March 31st, Convention Center. Be there and be involved in your community.
Take it slow, take it slow, take it slow. When we see a roundabout, take it slow. Let me pick the correct lane and take it slow. When we see a car approach, we yield to the left. When we're in that roundabout, we don't pass anybody yet. Take it slow, take it slow, take it slow.
Visit WisconsinRoundabouts.com for more info from the Wisconsin Department of Transportation.
Hello and welcome back to Oshkosh Today. And now we are joined by Terry Green from the Oshkosh Area Community Pantry. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks. It's nice to be here.
So first of all, for those of us that aren't familiar, like me, who are new to town, what can you tell us about the pantry? What can we?
Yes. The Oshkosh Area Community Pantry is here for a reason, and that's because we have a food security problem in southern Winnebago County. But how the pantry itself started was there were 6 organizations that were food pantries about 5 years ago. And they decided that the way the food was being delivered now was not a very good way. It was not efficient. People were running around to 6 different places trying to get help. So they worked with community leaders and community members and decided that they would roll all the resources into one, and they came up with the Oshkosh Area Community Pantry. So because we're 100% run on donations, we have to make sure that we are doing the job efficiently and making sure that the help is getting to where it needs to be.
Mm-hmm. And where exactly are you located?
We're located in the St. Vincent de Paul building on Jackson Street. Okay. So we rent from them, and it was a perfect spot because it was the old COPS building, so all the refrigerators and freezers were there, so it worked out really well.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
So how does the pantry really work? How does someone register to be able to use the pantry, and who can?
It's very easy. So what happens is the person that comes in to register, all they need to do is bring in 2 forms of identification for themselves. They need to bring in a piece of mail or something that tells us where they're located so that we can confirm that they're in southern Winnebago County. Mm-hmm. And then ID for every single person in the household. Once they go through that process, which is very simple, then we ask them to sign up for the Supplemental Nutrition Program, which is food stamps. Most people are familiar with that. We want them to do that because if they have the opportunity to take benefits that might make them independent of the pantry, we want them to go ahead and take that. Mm-hmm. So whether they are confirmed or not, denied, whatever, they can still shop at the pantry. But once they're done with all of that, then they can come in and they get points. So they shop with points instead of money. Mm-hmm. And we act like a grocery store. So we don't hand them just a bag of groceries. Mm-hmm. They are empowered to make their own decisions based on their nutrition, based on their ethnicity, whatever the case may be.
Okay, so that's kind of, they use their points,
to shop.
like you said, really however they want to use their points is up to them.
Absolutely. So everything in the pantry is a point. Mm-hmm. So a family of 4 would get 25 points and they get 25 items.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So how many people are taking advantage of this opportunity right now?
Well, that's the scary part. Right now we're seeing between 1,900 and 2,000 people registered every single month. Mm-hmm. And that equates to 4,500 to 5,000 when you count their family members. So that's a lot of people. Right. So the average family of 4 is taking about 50 pounds of food out of the pantry. They can come once a month. Mm-hmm. So we're looking at 100,000 pounds of food going out every single month. Last year we took 1.279 million pounds of food back into the hands of those that needed it. Yeah, so it's a lot of food.
Yeah, and it's kind of an interesting, an interesting situation where usually more people is better, but in this case it's really kind of the opposite.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we could cut that in half. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So, where does all this food come from? You have so many people coming in. Where does it all come from?
It comes from all over the place. They're donations. So organizations like the Boy Scouts, when they do a Boy Scout drive, or they do a Stock the Shelves drive at Lord's Academy, for instance, all the food comes from the community. It also comes in the form of cash. So when the cash donations come in, then we're able to purchase food. We use an organization called Feeding America. And Feeding America goes through and they pick up food from like the Walmarts and the Roundies. So when the meat is just about ready to be expired, they go and they deep freeze it. and then they'd sell it back to us for 19 cents a pound. So we can't, it's a really good deal, and the pantry couldn't run without Feeding America. So that's where most of the food is coming from.
Okay, what do you find is one of the more, I don't want to say popular, but what's most needed by the pantry right now?
Anything. Food in general is needed, but it's the bigger items that cost a lot. It's the peanut butters and the canned meats that are really important. But soups, boxed meals, all those things are important. So anything they can provide is helpful.
Okay, and the pantry has some other programs that go on too, outside of the food portion?
Yes, we have a couple extra programs that we do. We have some people that aren't able to get into the pantry. So we have a homebound program, and right now we're serving about 15 people, and we're very excited about that to be able to help them. So we give them a menu, they check it off. We have some people that come in and volunteer to pack the boxes, and then UW Oshkosh Titans come in and deliver it for us, so that's nice. We also have a nutrition and cooking class for our guests, so they can use things in the pantry and figure out how to make nutritious meals with items in the pantry. So we have that. We also have something called the Food for Kids program, which some people refer to it as the backpack program. So we are working with Webster Stanley, Washington, and Emmeline Cook, those 3 schools. They've identified children that are really in need. And then what we do is we pack a nutritionally balanced meal in a bag. And then we send it over to the schools, and the schools put it in their backpacks for the weekend. Wow. Yeah, so it really is working well. We have 134 children on the program now, and we're hoping that we can encourage the parents to come in and use the pantry as an additional resource.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it works out really good.
You have going on. And you're kind of like me. You've been in your position almost a year, or a little over a year. What have you seen since you started at the pantry?
Well, it's kind of interesting when you first get there, because you think it's an emergency pantry. You think people are coming in because they're right at the edge, and that's not necessarily the case that I'm seeing. So when that does happen, it's heartbreaking, because they're not coming the hours that you're open, they're coming the hours that they need to have the assistance, right? So you know that there's a real issue. But what I'm finding is that people are coming intermittently. So some people are coming 3 months out of the year, but they're coming every single year. So for the last 5 years, they've been coming 4 or 5 times a year. So the opportunity for them to leave, something's blocking them. Why are they still there, right? We have an aging and disability population that they're not able to increase their salaries. So they're there. They're having to use the pantry, and they're not going to be able to leave, right? We also have some generational poverty that's going on there. I've had people come up and talk to me and say, my grandma used this, my mom's using this, and now I'm using this. So there's some things there.
Patterns.
It's a pattern, right? So we're going to have to identify how to look at this from a community standpoint. How do we deal with this kind of issues, right?
Excellent. And we only have a few seconds left, so I want to make sure that we can talk about if you want to help, or if you're looking to volunteer or donate, where can you go?
Right now you can go out to our website, and it's oacptoday.org, and we have applications out there for volunteering, and of course we always take cash donations anytime you're readily willing to do that, but that's what we have.
Excellent. And actually, really quickly, 5 years coming up here in May.
I know.
What's your number one goal for the next 5 years here?
The next 5 years, hopefully to cut the registration in half. That would be nice.
Well, best of luck to you in that. And it looks like you're on the right track, honestly.
Thanks.
And also, again, the website, if anybody's looking to donate or volunteer, that's available as well.
Yes.
So thanks so much for coming in today, Terry. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will get our dose of Focus on Health with our friend Ted Stefaniak. We'll be right back on Oshkosh Today.
It's your home, it's your dream. Radon testing, keep it healthy and clean. Make it green, green, green.
Making it green is making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN. Preserve your family's health and well-being. Get your home tested. Now that's living healthy and green.
Green, green, green. It's your home, it's your dream. Radon testing, keep it healthy healthy and clean. Make it green, green, green.
To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN.
We're back on Oshkosh today, and coming up next, keeping your kids' attention might not always be easy, but when does it become something that you should really be concerned about? This segment of Focus on Health will focus on attention disorders. Take a look.
This Focus on Health segment is brought to you by Aurora Health Care.
Hello and welcome to Focus on Health. I'm Ted Stefaniak. Today we're at the Aurora Behavioral Health Center. We're going to be sitting down with psychotherapist Greg Brewer. We're going to be talking about what you should be looking for in your kids when it comes to attention disorders. Well, thank you for joining us today. We're talking about attention disorders in kids, and I guess today we want to focus a little bit on ADHD, and let's just kind of talk about what is ADHD.
Sure. ADHD is a acronym for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, and there's usually a couple areas that are looked at. One is what's called an inattentive type, which is usually a child or adolescent, or it can be an adult also, that just has trouble focusing, staying on task, may move from one task to another. And then there's the hyperactive type where you see the squirming, the difficulty staying in one place, not being able to focus also. So you have an inattentive type, and then you have kind of a combined type, which has both pieces to it.
Yeah. It seems like there are more and more cases, or it seems to be a growing problem. Is that necessarily the case?
Well, in the sense that it's being diagnosed more, that is clearly the case. The CDC just compared some data from 2003-4 to 11-12, and there was about a 42% increase in the amount of parents who reported their child had been diagnosed with ADD or ADHD. Very significant. So that number comes out to about 6.5 million children and adolescents at that time being diagnosed.
Yeah. Do you have an idea of why that number is growing?
Sure. Usually when these things happen, when you have an increase in diagnosis, there's both a good side and maybe a little concerning side. One is that people are just better educated, educators, schools, parents, primary care providers, pediatricians, and so forth. So there's just a better understanding of how this type of behavior plays out, whether it's in the classroom, the home, other places. And so we're seeing it more. Also better diagnostic tools, better screening tools, things like that are used. On the flip side, usually there's a concern about overdiagnosing. The symptoms of inattentiveness and hyperactivity can really be the symptoms of other disorders, physical disorders, mental health disorders, and so forth. And especially in a school-age child who's struggling, there can be a propensity just to say, well, it must be inattentiveness since it's being diagnosed more. So it's important to get a good evaluation and diagnosis.
What should parents or teachers start to look for before there are signals that say, you know what, we need to find some help?
Sure. I think what you'll find at school is some of the behaviors I mentioned. Not being, from the inattentive side, not being able to focus on the teacher, not being able to stay focused on a task for a sustained period of time. So you'd see it academically. From the hyperactivity side, you may see more behavioral issues. They're playing around with their other students, they're throwing things, they're squirming around, they just can't stay in one place. At home, you'll see some of the more hyperactive behavior too. They may be a little more defiant, may not want to do things that you said. But I think if you start seeing any of those things that's concerning you, then it's time to start getting an evaluation done.
Yeah, I would imagine, like you talked about, it being overdiagnosed or misdiagnosed, it's important to seek out professional help if you think your child is having these issues.
Absolutely, and I think the first thing to do is always start with your primary care provider, whether it's a nurse practitioner, pediatrician, family practice doc. Rule out any medical issues. I mean, if you think of just inattentiveness, there could be an issue of having slight seizures if they're spacing out or zoning out. So always want to check out the medical first. If there aren't any issues there, then it's good to sit down with a behavioral health provider who's going to gather information from the home setting, from the child, and from the school setting. ADD, ADHD do not go off and on. So if you have it in one setting, you're going to have it in another setting. So they're going to gather information, again, using different rating scales. And then you want to do a good history. There's clearly a genetic component to this, so you want to find out from parents What was school like for you? Did you space out? Were you bored? Did you have trouble sitting still? If there is that case, it's going to lend some information to the diagnosis. And you certainly also want to look for other things. Inattentive, hyperactive symptoms could be signs of depression, anxiety, trauma, which is something we really want to, as mental health professionals, look at. So you really need to look at it from all angles. And if by combining all that information, then I think you're going to get the best diagnosis.
Yeah. And if you are diagnosed with ADHD, what are some of the treatment options available?
Sure. Really want to do three things. One is you want to get some good education to everybody, meaning the parents, helping them understand what the illness is about, helping them know some do's and don'ts in terms of working with their kids. Schools, if needed, you want to get them some information, but they tend to be really experts at working with children with these issues. And then you're looking at possibly medication treatment. Most children and early adolescents are treated with some stimulant medication, which again sounds kind of goofy. Why would you give something that speeds somebody up who's already pretty sped up? But in children with ADHD, and again, as I mentioned, younger children, it does slow the process down, helps them more focused, helps them monitor their behavior better. So there are medication treatment, and then through a mental health specialist doing some individual and family therapy, things that again can help parents respond best to the child, help the child learn some tools to monitor their own behavior and stay focused and so forth. Really a collaborative effort.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you taking some time with us today.
You're very welcome. Thanks for your time.
If you have any questions regarding attention disorders, you can contact your primary care provider or give us a call here at the Aurora Behavioral Health Center at 303-8700. I'm Ted Stefaniak, and we'll see you next time on Focus on Health.
This Focus on Health segment has been brought to you by Aurora Health Care.
We're back, and it looks like we're all out of time on this episode of Oshkosh Today. Make sure you tune into all your community programming on CATV2, and check us out at oshkoshcommunitymedia.org for replays of your favorite shows. You can also go to our YouTube channel and share them with your friends. Of course, you can also hear Oshkosh Today and other programs on 101.9 WOCT radio. Don't forget to like our Facebook page or follow us on Twitter for both city and programming updates. And finally, if you're a Pinterest fan, check out our board for the latest snapshots of the city. Don't forget about the big changes that happened recently at 101.9 FM WOCT. We are now streaming online at oshkoshcommunitymedia.org, and we're also available on the free TuneIn Radio app for your computer or mobile device. So you can now listen to the new mix from anywhere, anytime. You can get your OCM card while they still last. You can find them at local nonprofits, Hardee's, Two Brothers, and save big money at local businesses here in Oshkosh. Finally, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, you can email me at emakowski@ci.oshkosh.wi.us. Thanks so much for joining us today, and we'll see you next time on Oshkosh Today.
Oshkosh Today was supported in part by the Friends of OCM, Aurora Health Care, 855 North West Haven Drive. Set design provided by House of Flowers, 1920 Algoma Boulevard. To find replay times for Oshkosh Today, to be a guest on the show, or to watch online, visit our website at oshkoshcommunitymedia.org.